caramel went badly wrong, so now I'm trying to save the pan. The listening for assent through feeling was a rigorous process, had a structure, a system to it, things like that. Not just hippie nonsense, despite how I may look. If you think about it, when you walk down the street with somebody, you naturally fall into step with their step. Our bodies sync up with the bodies of those around us in lots of ways. And it's interesting, if you try not to fall into step with that person, you have to actively fight against something else, something other than you, to keep your step out of sync with theirs. And we know lots of big ways that bodies sync up, like women's menstrual cycles syncing up. And there's lots of little ways. And these micro communications are what animals use when they notice our emotional state when we come home from work, type of thing. And so in my work, I spent a lot of time, like a lot of time. I was working with those people for the best part of a year, and I spent several months at the start of that work just getting to know them so that I could listen to see what we might do together, to see what, to see what was what, to see if I could hear them. And you have to, it's such a hard thing to do, because you are so bombarded by other messages. Like for me, I've got to get this work done by a particular time, but I actually in my work had enormous freedom. If you are teaching a curriculum or providing care and you've got 7 minutes to get somebody out of bed and then you're on to the next person, how could you possibly, get attuned to somebody? Parents and siblings are often attuned people because they've known them since before they were born. They know the feel of their bodies, they spot the tension, they spot those changes. And there is work from other researchers, really interesting research from, I think it was from Japan, that was looking at whether it's possible for people who don't know them so well to develop that almost instinctual attunement that parents seem to have. And they found that it was. It just takes a lot of effort, a lot of concentration and a lot of time. And it was that attunement of body that I was using to listen and to hear from the people with profound intellectual and multiple disabilities that I work with. And it takes a huge amount of time and a lot of attention. And so when I say I felt for assent, I felt for consent, I don't just mean, I walked in the room and if I got a vibe that they liked me, I carried on. I really, really meant it, and I was really, really careful. And I'm not in any way saying that what I did is the best that can be done or was right in every situation, but we have to, well, we don't have to, but I think there's huge value in thinking about these things and trying to find a way that's meaningful. Possibly not doing it whilst burning caramel on a pan.